Hi guys, hello and welcome back to the Mortal Realms series. Okay, so this week we do issue number 2 of the Mortal Realms magazine. Okay, there we go. That's the front cover. And featured this week is the Mermorn Banshees. These ladies we see on the front here. Okay, so the contents it looks like is the Wrath of Nagash, painting, Nighthorns, miniatures and Mermorn Banshees attack, which will be the little scenario that we got every week. So before I stop the camera and go down to the table to show you the magazine and its contents, we got a Citadel starter paintbrush. We got Corax White, which is the Citadel Games Workshop white paint. And what we're all here to see, we got a sprue of Mermorn Banshees. I think there's 4 of our ladies in this. Okay, so I'm going to stop the camera, guys, spin everything round, and we'll have a look at the contents of issue 2. Okay guys, so we're now down at the table. So like we can see, issue number 2 of the Mortal Realms Warhammer Age of Sigmar magazine, and this one is £5.99. So the first issue, as I said last week, was £2.99 for the intro. This one's £5.99 and then it's £7.99 thereafter. Okay, so like before, we've got the Banshees on the front there. Battle Games in the Age of Sigmar, Issue 2, Wrath of Nagash, painting Nighthorn miniatures and the Mermorn Banshees attack. Okay, so opening straight up, we get our contents. So it just says Mermorn Banshees, Wrath of Nagash, The Soul Wars. I think that might be a little bit of a short... Oh no, it's history, sorry, tell a lie. How to build guide, more of the how to paint, and Terror Amidst the Tombs, which is the playthrough. Okay, so straight off we get our page and our introduction into these Mermorn Banshees. Little bit of fluff tells us about them. Just interesting that when you're building the models, and more so when you're playing for them for the first time, what they are, what this backstory is, their motivations and that kind of stuff. And this is The Wailing Dead, and it basically says about some of the powers that these guys, or should I say ladies, possess. Chill daggers and that kind of stuff. And also of interest to the Stormcast players, destroying the dead. How you do it? Basically the enchanted weapons and the shields of Vizier that the Stormcast Eternals carry. This looks nice. The Wrath of Nagash. Nagash hungers for the souls of the dead, considering them all to be his rightful due. Any who attempt to steal this source of power soon find themselves the target of his vengeful schemes. Even Sigmar will not be spared from the god of death's terrifying wrath. So already we see Nagash, and he's a pretty bad mother, isn't he? Lovely art though. You know, who couldn't love that? I'd love to get hold of a model like that and paint that up. And you know the way I feel about painting. But every so often I get caught out and there is a model that I'm just like, yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so the Nagash stuff continues with more of the now featured photos, beautifully painted models and the little scenes just to get you in the mood. Bump finishes off there. And then we come over to the history part. The Realms, Soul Wars. I'm not going to bother reading that, guys. I'm just going to show you the art. I think I mentioned in the intro video that these magazines are split into 4 parts, and basically over the course of the subscription and over the course of this series, we'll cover all the history. I'm not going to go over it because, like I say, you know, anybody interested who wants to go away and actually purchase the magazine or subscription themselves can go into that. But as a collector, it's nice. So at the end of like the 80 issues, what's that, maybe 18 months, a year and a half, we'll have a full collection. You get 4 ring binders during the course of the subscription to put all these things in. So as we go along and we get the ring binders with the particular issues, I'll show you them as well, guys, okay? So we just carry on there, a little bit about Nagash, etc. Necroquakes, the Black Pyramid, all good stuff. And then we go on to the how to build Mermorn Banshees. And again, guys, you've seen this guide. They're all pretty similar, to be honest. Each week I will show you them, obviously, for the purpose of reviewing the magazine. But the guides themselves are all pretty laid out the same way. They're really, really nice. Nice and easy for beginners. And you know what? Nice and easy for somebody like myself who sort of come back into the hobby of late, more so miniature-wise. So as you see, nice, easy instructions. When we're through with this little review here, I'm going to go away, build them, and then I'm going to put them back on the turntable like I did last week for you. So nothing to be bothered about here, guys, honestly. Nice big pieces, look like they should fit together nicely. So don't be worried about that. Okay, and then we go into how to paint Citadel miniatures. And this time it shows you about a little hobby area and how you basically set up with your basic things, your glues, your paints, brushes, water, your sprues, that kind of thing. Again, to seasoned hobbyists, this would be like, you know, oh yeah, okay, it's a waste of a page, but I honestly believe it isn't. You know, I think it's great. Okay, then we go on to a little section about your tools, which is basically your water pot, your paints, your brushes, your painting palette. I personally don't bother with these, I'll be honest. I think I went out and I bought one, oh crikey, must be about 15 years ago now from Poundland, which is like a discount store in the UK to all our European and US viewers. And I paid like £1, probably €1, for a little like artist's palette, and it's absolutely covered in everything, every manner of paint you can imagine. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Games Workshop, I've got these little palette pads. Not for me, but take no notice of me, guys. You guys make your own mind up. That's just my little personal addition, my little personal story, the way I put these little anecdotes in these reviews. And then we get down to the how to paint Mermaid Banshees. So it's obviously just, it's like a white Conax white over, and what they're saying is basically they're just showing it all in white, the various stages. Like you base coat it, then you'd undercoat it, then you put like a final coat, so you see it like a little bit lighter there, and then like your full hit. And what they're doing is they basically go through the entire series, like I mentioned, the Conquest series, and what they do is you get more and more paints, inks, things like that as you go along in a subscription. So as we go further along through these issues, these painting guides will go back to the particular models. So you may not get such a model in issue, say 20, but there'll be like a little bit of a guide saying, use this ink we've give you today to go over and shade that. So again, we'll go along and we'll learn together, guys. There we go. The chain rasp board, which we done last week, we built them, if you remember. So it's now showing using the paint we got this week and how they look. Okay, so it's all nice stuff, you know. More so for the people who are interested in the actual sort of painting aspect of it, and just finished models. They should look like that until, like I say, we get some ink on them and another coat, etc. And your chain rasp board from last week's issue, for anybody following along, is just those guys undercoated up in white. Okay, what have we got here now? Terror Amidst the Tombs. So this is the little scenario where we introduce new models, and again, by now, a little bit of fluff. I'm not going to bore you with it, guys, but it just tells you a little bit of background about the mission. And then we see it says here, the fight continues, and there we go. So you've now got last week's Sequitors, the gold guys, and you've got this week's Banshees. Okay, so obviously the Banshees have different rules to the chain rasps, and we go a little bit further with what we do. There's the playmat from last week with the placements on, and then we just basically get our instructions, how the Banshees attack, etc. What they need to roll, what they need to do, you know, to get in on the Stormcast. Teaches all about like rolls to hit, rolls to wound, all that sort of stuff. And then it comes across to the Sequitors, the good guys, the Stormcast Eternals, what they need to do to pile in their weapons, etc. What they tend to do as well is, like I was saying before about the painting guides and the building guides, each one of these little tutorials per issue brings in like a new rule. So you might pick up like the rule book, the main Age of Sigmar rule book, and it might say this is how you attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this won't give you that because it's so beginner friendly. It just shows you like in sequence. It'll teach you how to do this first, and then next issue it'll say do that. The issue after you'll do that, etc., etc. Until come the end, you know, we're fully fluent in Age of Sigmar, and we could more than hold our own. So it's very, very well done because you don't want to throw everything at you at once. Okay, and we get to the final part of that, how we deal damage, how things die, pardon all puns with using the undead. The now usual mandatory back inside cover, subscribe, and I'm going to say what I said last week, guys. I'd recommend it, up to yourselves, but you know, you save yourself a little bit of money, you get some extra gifts, and it's nice. And my favourite part, as we all know by now, is what's coming in issue 3. And that is Stormcast reinforcements. Okay, and I'm going to be a tinker here because I'm not going to drop this down to show you what's coming in issue 4. We'll leave that till next week. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that little look at the magazine, guys. I'm going to turn off the camera. I'm going to go and build these models, and then I'm going to stick them on a turntable and show you our Mermorn Banshees. Okay, guys, welcome back to the final part. I've got away, I've built the models, and these are beautiful. I'm not going to put them on a turntable because I don't think the turntable would do them justice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just show you them close up, one by one. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Okay, so here we have the first one. So just spinning around, we can see a nice little base with nice detail and a really, really dynamic pose as she's flying through the air there. Okay. How nice are these? Seriously. If you want to collect any undead model or any undead army, these Banshees are really nice. So that's Banshee number 1. We've got Banshee number 2. Okay. And again, we just have a look at the details of the bases, so you're going to be able to paint like bricks, stonework, that kind of thing up on them. And just turning around there so you see the cape, the cloak at the back, and some of the detail. Okay. There she is again. And these are going to look absolutely lovely with the paint and the ink in the middle. Okay, so moving on to Banshee number 3. Now, this one had a head. I chose to leave it off because I like to pose my models differently, and you just see she's flying past what looks like just bits of scenery, a little bit of a tombstone there, a little bit of railing maybe. Lovely detail on the base, that'll really come up that, guys, if you dry brush it. Okay, so you just see her there turning, and quickly to get it back in focus just to show you the back of the model there. Okay. And finally, the last one of them, we've got 4 today, is this lady here. Okay, and again, so we can see a little tombstone, and we see a little few bits and bobs lying around on the floor, on the base there. We see her with her dagger out, and she's just in that kind of fly right at you kind of pose. Lovely work on the cape, all the holes and all ripped and shredded and stuff. And just one last little note, guys, these went together really, really well. I put the 4 of them together in 10 minutes. Okay, so that was issue 2 of the Mortal Realms. Leave your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think. Are you enjoying the series? Are you looking forward to next week? And is this something that you'd be interested in collecting yourselves? Okay, guys, till next time.